My ex wants me to return. She smiled and said, I think I'll give him another chance. I still remember the sound before I saw them, low laughter, muffled whispers, the kind that carried guilt. My chest tightened, but my feet moved on their own, down the hallway, closer to Adrian's apartment door. My hand shook when I pushed it open. Adrian? My voice cracked. The room froze. Sophie turned first, her hair falling messily over her shoulder, her shirt half-buttoned. Adrian sat beside her, his arms still draped around her waist. My best friend. My boyfriend. Together. Wait, this isn't what it looks like, Adrian stammered, pulling his arm back too late. Sophie's lips curled, not even pretending to be guilty. Actually, it's exactly what it looks like. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. You, both of you? How long? Don't make it dramatic, Sophie said, crossing her arms. It just happened. You were always so busy with your feelings. We didn't mean for this. I stared at her, my throat burning. You didn't mean for this? You're my best friend. Adrian stood, his face pale. Listen, I messed up. One mistake. I still love you. Love? I laughed bitterly, though it sounded more like choking. You love me, but you're with her? It was just physical, he rushed. It didn't mean anything. Sophie smirked, her voice sharp. Didn't mean anything? Then why did you tell me she was too clingy? Why did you say you felt trapped? Adrian's head snapped toward her. Sophie, stop. I froze, those words slicing deeper than the scene in front of me. Trapped? I whispered. That's what I was to you. He reached out, his voice desperate. No, I didn't mean it like that. I pulled back before his fingers touched me. Don't you dare touch me. Sophie leaned back against the couch, watching, enjoying my pain. Honestly, you should thank me. At least now you know the truth. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might burst. The truth? The truth is I gave you everything, Sophie. You were my sister. And you, I turned on Adrian, my voice trembling, you promised me forever. I still want you, he said, eyes wet. I'll cut this off, I swear. Just don't leave. Don't leave. My laugh was hollow. You already left. The second you touched her, you chose. Baby. Don't call me that. My voice cracked, my chest aching. You don't get to call me that. Silence hung, heavy, broken only by my ragged breathing. Sophie rolled her eyes. Are we really going to keep pretending? He's happier with me. He told me himself. I looked at her, at the girl I trusted with every secret, every memory. Was it fun? I asked softly. Laughing at me behind my back. Whispering while I poured my heart out to you. Her smirk faltered for the first time. You're too sensitive. That's why. Stop. My voice was sharp, final. Don't you dare tell me why. Don't you dare explain my own pain to me. Adrian stepped forward, his voice breaking. I can fix this. Please, just give me a chance. Don't walk out. I stared at him, his pleading eyes, his trembling hands. Once, I would have given anything to see him beg for me like that. Now it felt empty, disgusting. You don't get a second chance, I whispered. Not from me. Sophie snorted. Then you'll end up alone, and we'll be together. Isn't that worse? Her words stung, but not the way she intended. I realized in that moment, alone would be better than this. Alone meant free. I grabbed my bag from the chair, my fingers stiff, cold. Adrian tried to block the door, panic in his eyes. Move, I said, my voice low, dangerous. Please. Move. He stepped aside slowly, his lips trembling as if he wanted to say more. I didn't give him the chance. The hallway outside was silent, almost too silent after the storm inside. My feet felt like stone as I walked, but I didn't stop. Not when I reached the stairs. Not when the night air hit my face. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A message from Sophie. You'll regret this. I stared at it, my chest hollow, my body numb. Maybe she was right. Maybe I would regret walking away. But in that moment, regret felt cleaner than staying. I typed back with shaking fingers, no. You will. Then I turned the phone off. The city lights blurred as I walked, my eyes burning but dry. People passed me, their laughter sharp against my ears. I wanted to scream, to collapse, but I kept moving. Inside, a war raged, humiliation twisting with rage, love tangled with hate. My heart screamed that I'd lost everything, but somewhere beneath the pain, something darker whispered, they don't get the last word. You do. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the wall, hearing their voices over and over. Sophie's smug grin. Adrian's desperate lies. And me, broken. But not destroyed. Not yet. The weeks after that night blurred together, each one heavier than the last. I told myself I was fine, but the mirror showed a liar every morning. William, you can't just keep hiding in here, Maya's voice cut through the silence of my room. She stood at the door, her arms folded, watching me from the frame. I'm not hiding, I muttered, staring at the floor. She stepped in, closing the door behind her. Then what do you call it? Curtains shut all day, phone off, you skipping classes, ignoring everyone? That's not living. That's burying yourself. I swallowed, my throat tight. Maybe burying myself is better. At least no one's laughing at me in here. Her eyes softened, but her tone didn't. So you've heard it too. How could I not? I snapped, though the anger wasn't for her. They whisper everywhere I go. Poor William, his girlfriend cheated with his best friend. I walk into a room and I know they're talking about me. They're idiots, Maya said quickly. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know you. They don't have to, I said bitterly. The story is enough. I'm the punchline now. Maya sat on the edge of my bed. You're not a joke. You're hurt. That's different. Tell that to them, I muttered. Tell that to Adrian and Sophie, laughing while I choke on this. She sighed, looking at me with something between pity and frustration. Do you want to fight back? The question lingered in the air. My chest ached. I don't know. Some days I want to burn them down. Other days I just want to disappear. Disappearing isn't you, she said firmly. You don't know me as well as you think. Her hand reached for mine, warm against my cold skin. I know enough. You used to talk about dreams bigger than this city. You used to fight for everything you believed in. Where is that person now? I pulled my hand back, ashamed. Dead. They killed him the second I opened that door and saw, my voice cracked. I couldn't finish. Maya's silence filled the space. Then she whispered, then maybe it's time to bring him back. I shook my head. You make it sound simple. It's not simple, she admitted. But drowning yourself in silence won't heal you either. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. Do you know what haunts me the most? Not the betrayal itself. It's their faces. Sophie's smirk, Adrian's fake guilt. I see them every time I close my eyes. That's trauma, Maya said gently. It doesn't go away overnight. But it will fade. And what if it doesn't? Then you fight until it does. Her words hit me, but I wasn't sure if they lit a spark or just reminded me how weak I'd become. Later that night, when she left, I stared at my phone. Messages blinked from people I hadn't answered in weeks. I opened one from a classmate, "Are you okay? People are saying things." I threw the phone aside. I didn't need their pity. In the silence, Sophie's voice echoed in my head. He's happier with me. Adrian's too. It didn't mean anything. I whispered into the empty room, then why does it still feel like everything? The walls didn't answer. The silence pressed heavier until I wanted to scream. The next morning, Maya barged in again. Get up. No. Yes. She yanked the curtains open, flooding the room with sunlight that burned my tired eyes. You're coming with me. Coffee. Fresh air. Something. I sat up slowly. Why do you care so much? Because I won't watch you rot, she said fiercely. You're my cousin, my brother in everything but blood. If I let you drown, I drown too. Her words cracked something inside me. For a moment, I wanted to fight back, to stand up, to prove I wasn't broken. But then the weight returned, heavy as chains. I'll go, I said finally. But only because you won't stop nagging. She smiled faintly. I'll take it. We walked in silence, the city buzzing around us. Every laugh I heard made me flinch, convinced it was about me. Maya noticed but didn't say anything. She just walked beside me, steady and quiet. At the cafe, she pushed a cup toward me. Drink. Breathe. Just, exist for now. I sipped, the bitterness grounding me. For a brief moment, I felt human again. But then I saw them, two strangers holding hands, smiling the way Adrian once smiled at me, and the ache returned. Maya followed my gaze. Does it hurt? Yes. Then let it hurt, she said softly. Pain means you're still alive. I clenched the cup, my hands trembling. Alive feels worse than dead. Her eyes locked with mine. Not forever. One day, alive will feel like freedom. You just have to survive until then. I didn't answer. I couldn't. But somewhere deep inside, a tiny voice whispered that maybe she was right. Daniel's voice was too cheerful when he greeted me at the door. William. You actually showed up. Thought you'd ghost us again. I almost did, I admitted, forcing a smile. Good. You need this. Drinks inside, music's decent, and no drama tonight. Promise. I nodded, but my chest tightened. No drama? He didn't know who else was here. The moment I stepped into the living room, I saw them. Adrian's hand rested on Sophie's back as she laughed at something someone said. She leaned into him like she owned him, like I'd never existed. My stomach knotted. Daniel followed my gaze. His smile faded. William. I'm fine, I lied. You don't have to. I said I'm fine. I wasn't. My hands shook as I grabbed a drink and tried to blend in. But Sophie noticed. She always noticed. Her eyes locked on mine, and that smirk spread across her lips, the same one from that night. William, she called across the room, voice dripping with fake sweetness. Didn't expect to see you here. I clenched my jaw. Don't flatter yourself. People around us quieted. Adrian shifted uncomfortably, eyes darting away from me. Coward. Sophie tilted her head. Still bitter? I shot back, still proud? A few people coughed awkwardly. Daniel touched my shoulder. Ignore her, he whispered. But Sophie didn't stop. She leaned into Adrian, pressing her lips to his cheek. We're happy now, William. You should try it sometime. The room blurred. My drink tasted like ash. I forced myself outside onto the balcony, desperate for air. I wasn't alone for long. Voices floated through the sliding door. Their voices. She looked like she was going to cry, Sophie snickered. Adrian chuckled softly. She always does. Too weak to handle anything. I told you, she clings too much. Smothers people. My chest burned. Too weak. Too clingy. My own words once meant something to him, now they were weapons in her mouth. Then why'd you stay with her so long? Sophie teased. She made it easy, Adrian replied. Always trusting, always forgiving. I could have done anything. They laughed together, cruel and light, as if I were nothing more than a punchline. Something inside me snapped. I stepped back inside, my voice low but sharp. Enjoying the comedy show? They froze. Sophie raised her eyebrows, unfazed. Were you eavesdropping? Hard not to when your voices are like knives. Adrian's face reddened. William, it's not what you think. Don't. My glare cut him off. Don't feed me lies you've already rehearsed. Sophie smirked again. Touchy. Maybe if you weren't so sensitive. Sensitive? I stepped closer, my hands trembling with rage. You betrayed me. Both of you. And now you laugh about it? That's not me being sensitive. That's you being heartless. Adrian reached out as if to calm me. William, let's not make a scene. Too late. My voice cracked, loud enough for others to turn and watch. The scene already exists. You created it the night you touched her. Silence fell. Daniel appeared between us, his face tight. Enough. Both of you. This isn't the place. I pulled away, chest heaving. You're right. This isn't the place. But there will be one. Sophie laughed softly. What's that supposed to mean? I leaned closer, my words sharp. It means I won't stay your victim. Her smirk faltered for the first time, just a flicker. Adrian looked at me with something that might have been fear. Daniel pulled me aside, whispering fiercely. William, breathe. Don't let them win. I swallowed the storm in my throat. They already won, Daniel. But not forever. He searched my face. What are you planning? I shook my head. I don't know yet. But I know this, I won't let them walk all over me. Not again. Later, as I left the party, their laughter echoed behind me, but it didn't crush me this time. It ignited something dangerous, something sharp. Walking down the street, I whispered to myself, too weak? Too clingy? Fine. Let them believe it. The best revenge is when they never see it coming. The night air was cold, but for the first time since everything shattered, I felt a fire inside me. It wasn't healing. It wasn't peace. It was vengeance. And I would feed it. Months later, a knock sounded at my door, soft and hesitant. William? His voice was smaller than I remembered. I opened the door a crack. Adrian. He stepped inside slowly. Can we talk? You want to talk now? I kept my voice flat. After everything? I know I have no right, but please. Just listen. He swallowed. Sophie, she cheated on me. For a second, the room tilted. What? She slept with someone else. I found messages. His hands trembled. I thought I was the problem. So now you come to me because she hurt you? I laughed, hard. Where were you when she smiled at me? Where were you when she held my hand? He flinched. I know. I deserve that. You deserve to feel what you made me feel, I said. But why should I open the door for you now? Adrian looked at his shoes. I'm not asking to come back. I want to understand. I need to know why I left. You left because you chose her, I said. You escaped instead of fighting. It wasn't like that. His voice broke. I was confused. I was stupid. Losing you broke me. I thought I could fix it with someone else. So you made me a lesson? I asked. You used me. I never meant to, he said. Maybe not. But you did. Silence pressed. His eyes were wet. Please. I'm sorry. I would do anything to make it right. I wanted to slam the door. I wanted to scream. Instead, I let him sit. Why are you here? I asked finally. To apologize. To tell the truth. To ask, if there's any chance, he stopped. No chance, I said. The words were cold. He closed his eyes. I can't keep pretending I don't miss you. I'm different now. Different? I repeated. You were asleep when you let me love you. It was a nightmare, he whispered. I remember the small things. Your laugh. Your plans. I was blind. Blind enough to sleep with my best friend, I said. It was a mistake, he said. He reached for my hand then stopped. Don't touch me. I backed away. He sank back. Do you forgive me? He asked after a moment. I don't know, I answered. Forgiveness isn't simple. I don't owe you anything. I want you to find peace. If that peace includes me, I'll accept it. If not, I'll accept that too. He sounded smaller than a child begging. Something cold and sharp bloomed inside me. I let him think he could come back. I let him spin his sorrow and make me the audience. Tell me everything, I said. Start from the night it started. Adrian blinked. Why? He asked. Because I want to see how sorry you are. I want to hear your lies and pick the parts that are true. I watched him begin. He spoke haltingly. It was months ago. We were at a rooftop bar. As he spoke, I asked questions that dug deeper. I watched his face for guilt. I watched his hands for tremors. Each confession became a mark on a ledger in my head. When he finished, I stood. Thank you for coming, I said. You can go now. He looked up, hope sparking. So? No, I cut him off. Not yet. I want you to feel the waiting. To know the not knowing. You can't do this to me, he said, panic creeping in. I can, I said. Because you did it to me first. He left, head bowed, apology trailing like a ghost. He thought I might chase. He didn't know I was already planning. He hesitated before leaving. Please, he said, voice small. Did you ever love me? I thought of nights when his head rested against my shoulder, of plans scribbled on napkins, of petty promises we whispered. I loved you, I said. I trusted you. I gave you myself. His breath hitched. Then why are you so cold? Because you used me, I said. You made a home in my heart and invited someone else in without warning. I didn't mean to. He looked raw. She said I needed to loosen up. She said I was missing out. I wanted to feel alive again. You wanted to feel alive while I felt dead, I answered. You chose the noise over the person who loved you. His hands trembled. She left me. She didn't stand by me when I told her to stop. She laughed at me when I tried to end it. That was always the risk with her, I said. She was a comet, bright, burning, and gone. He stared at me. Do you hate me? Hate is a big word, I said. You broke something. You broke trust. I won't pretend it's small. He swallowed. If I tell the truth to everyone, will that change things? If I admit I was wrong, will that make you see me differently? Words can change things if they are backed by action, I said. Tell Daniel. Tell your friends. Tell the people who listen to your excuses. Don't hide your confession in a private apology. Make it public. Public? His voice rose. You want me to humiliate myself? Yes. I met his eyes. If you want a chance, be honest where it matters. Humiliation is part of truth. Own it. He laughed, bitter. That's harsh. Fair, I corrected. Say it in front of them, I'll know. He sat back, uncertainty written across his face. And if they don't believe me? Then they lose me, I said. Not you. I won't be ruined by people who cheered you on for running. He nodded. Then he reached for shaky courage. I'll tell them. I'll tell Daniel, and I won't hide. I'll face whatever comes. Then start now, I said. He rose and walked to the door. Before he left, he looked at me with a fragile hope. Thank you for listening. This is a test, I said. If you want me to consider you, prove it in public. He paused. A test? You want me to consider you? Prove to everyone you are sorry. Don't just say it to me. Say it where the lies were told. He nodded, swallowing hard. I will. When the door closed behind him, I pressed my back against it and laughed once, cold, low. I could feel the seed of something sharp inside me. He had come back weak. Good. Broken men break in ways that can be measured, and broken people reveal the places they hide. I would watch. I would wait. I would let his public confession be his first move. I watched the city. I whispered, you came back. Now stand where everyone can see you. I sat across from Adrian at the cafe, the afternoon light folding over his guilty face. You look tired, he said. I had a long week, I answered. Thanks for meeting me. He reached for my hand and hesitated. I missed you. I let silence grow. You missed me after you left me for her? I made a terrible mistake, he said. I know that now. I believe you know. But knowing and fixing are different. He rubbed his forehead. I'm trying to fix it. People are talking. They think we might get back together. Let them think what they want. I want them to know I'm serious. I told Daniel the truth. You told Daniel? I asked. Did he believe you? He listened. He said he'll stand by me while I sort this out. So you drag the circle back in, I said. You drag everyone into your confession so you can wash your hands clean. I wanted to be honest. You wanted an easy conscience, not accountability. He looked down. I've been punished. Sophie left me when she saw I couldn't just forget. What did she say? I asked. She said I was weak. Then she left with someone else. She laughed at me. I came to you because I had nowhere else. Inside, I tasted triumph. So the crown shifted. Don't celebrate my pain. I'm not here to celebrate. I'm deciding. Will you take me back? He asked. I watched his face, then reached for my cup. What would that mean? For us, he said. We rebuild. We rebuild on what? Words? Promises? I'll prove it. How? Anything. I'll. Promises, I interrupted. You made plenty. I'll change, he insisted. I'll cut ties with Sophie. I'll stop seeing people who push me. Sounds tidy, I said, soft. Please, William. I'm sorry. I love you. Love is loud when it wants something, I said. Real love stays when it's hard. So you're not sure. I'm not sure I trust you. Trust is the currency you spent. He reached out. Let me earn it back. Earn it where it matters, I replied. Do it publicly. Tell Daniel and our friends. Say it where the lies were told. You want public confession? He looked startled. Yes. Actions in daylight, not private bargains. He hesitated, then agreed. I'll do it. I watched him relax. He thought he had a plan. Good, I said. We'll see. Before he left, Sophie stormed up to the cafe, eyes blazing. You lied, she spat. You fake this to make me jealous. You're stealing my man. Faking what? I asked. Saying he wants you back, she hissed. You don't get him. He's mine. You had him before you thought you did, I said. Don't pretend ownership now. She lunged. You're not taking him. Is he yours? I asked. He came to me, broken, asking for truth. She grabbed Adrian's arm. Adrian, tell her this isn't. He looked at her, shame written on his face. Sophie, it's over. You can't just walk away. I can, he said quietly. I have to. Her fury shifted to stunned hurt. She glared at me. You planned this. You plotted to steal him. I didn't plot, I said. You broke a home. I'm not living in ruins. She warned, you'll regret this. Maybe, I answered. Or maybe you will. She backed off, tears in her eyes. Adrian reached for my hand, pleading. I let him touch my fingers just a little. Not here, I said. Let people see what you do. He nodded. Okay. Sophie stormed away, shoulders shaking. People watched and whispered. I sipped my coffee, cold satisfaction tightening my chest. You wanted me to take him back, I said. I didn't, he said. You want proof? I asked. I want to try. Start where it matters, I told him. He clenched his jaw. I will. I watched Sophie disappear and listened to the hush. My smile was thin. Inside I mapped the next moves. Every warmth I gave Adrian would be measured. Strings attached. That was the new contract. Adrian leaned closer. Will you meet me tonight? Just to talk more. I can prove it. Where? I asked, keeping my voice flat. At Daniel's place. He said he'll listen. I can say it in front of everyone. Fine, I said. But remember, if this is theater, I walk. It won't be, he promised. You better mean it. I watched him go, thinking of patience as a trap and a blade. Tonight. They brought it up before I did. Whispers at tables, forwarded messages, a private joke gone public. Did you hear about Sophie? Someone asked, and the room leaned in. I sat quiet and let them. Is it true? Maya asked later, voice small. What do you mean? I kept my face blank. That thing, her with someone else. Daniel said he saw messages. I laughed, dry. People see what they want. At Daniel's gathering, Sophie arrived late, perfect hair and wild eyes. When she saw me, panic slipped across her face. Sophie, I said, slow as ice. Nice to see you. She blinked. William. This isn't fair. Isn't fair? I repeated. You cheated and now cry unfair? That's not how it happened, she insisted. Someone stole my phone. I didn't. Sell me the lie somewhere else, Ethan said, stepping in. Quiet Ethan, Adrian's friend who watches more than speaks. We're not buying it. Sophie's fury snapped. You think I cheated? You think I'd do that? Do what? Daniel asked. Betray my friend. Humiliate her. You humiliated William, someone said. You don't know the whole story, she cried. I know enough, I said, deliberate. I know you laughed about me. I know you took what I thought was mine. Adrian's voice came from behind me. Sophie, stop it. Stop what? She snapped. He comes back and suddenly he's the victim again. He came to me, I said. He apologized. He admitted the truth. Her eyes flashed. Adrian told you? He's manipulating you. He told the truth, Ethan said. I saw messages. Sophie, you were with someone else the night you claimed you were with him. Heat flared in her face. You had no right to go through his phone. I had every right, Ethan replied. Because I trust him, and because I trust William. She stumbled. You'll pay for this, she hissed. You'll regret it. Regret what? I asked. Being honest? Being alive? Don't act like a saint, she spat. You were always weak. You let us walk over you. Weak? I echoed. I was loving. There's a difference. She pointed at Adrian. You set this up to make me look bad. He looked at her with something like pity. Sophie, why would I set this up? I hurt you, but I didn't fake being hurt. You betrayed me, she cried. You betrayed me first, he answered. Her hands twisted in her bag strap. You think you're better than me, she snarled at me as she left. Not better, I said. Just honest. When she left, the room exhaled. People circled, whispering. Ethan lingered near me, quiet and steady. You handled that well, he said softly. Did I? I rubbed my arms. Adrenaline left a cold ache. You didn't lash out, he observed. You didn't try to hurt her. I didn't need to. I looked at Adrian. He mouthed thank you. You should have said this earlier, I muttered. I know, he replied. Ethan added, if you ever need someone to back you up, say so. I almost smiled. Thanks. I'll remember that. Later that week, Sophie cornered Adrian outside a cafe. I watched from a distance. You can't just walk away, she hissed. Say you love me. Say you want me back. I told you it's over, he said, steady. I won't lie to keep you. You'll regret losing me, she whispered, voice cold. Maybe, he said. But I can't live with lies. When she left, I walked up. Was that hard? I asked. It hurt, he admitted. But it was necessary. You did the right thing, I said. He looked at me, grateful and broken. I hope you believe me someday. I'm watching, I said. Actions, not words. Word spread. Sophie's posts grew defensive. She tried to call me once, I let it ring until she gave up. People are seeing the truth, Maya said when I told her. Hold steady. I will, I said. Night still had sharp memories, but revenge no longer looked like a shout, it felt like a plan. Each public confession Adrian made, each friend who stood with us, chipped at Sophie's armor. Weeks later, messages slowed. Sophie's anger shifted to quiet defensiveness. She tried one last public smear and failed, people turned away. In bed that night, anger settled into something colder, resolve. Watching karma act wasn't joy, it was a careful satisfaction. I whispered into the dark, this is only the beginning. Ethan stayed behind. You okay? He asked. I'm fine, I said, voice thin. No quick revenge, he smiled. Not quick. Smart. His quiet look warmed me, maybe more than friendship. When you're ready, I'll be there. Thanks. I planned carefully that night. Morning came and I felt sharper, ready. The game had changed, I would not be fooled. Now. I was halfway to turning off the kitchen light when the knock came. It wasn't loud, almost hesitant, like whoever stood outside was afraid of their own decision. I froze. My heart thudded in my chest before I even touched the door. Please, it's me, Adrian's voice carried through the wood. I opened the door slowly. His eyes were glassy, his shoulders hunched as though gravity had finally claimed him. What do you want? I asked flatly. I need to talk. Just 5 minutes. Please. I should have slammed the door, but something inside me wanted to hear him stumble. I stepped aside. He walked in, pacing like a caged animal. I can't keep this in anymore. I regret everything, every stupid choice. Losing you. God, it's the biggest mistake of my life. His voice cracked, and I felt my stomach twist. Adrian. No, let me finish. His hands trembled. I was blind. I thought I wanted something else, someone else. But when Sophie left, it all hit me. She's gone, and it's you I think about. You. Always you. I stared at him, the words slicing through me. My chest tightened, breath shallow. For a moment, I hated that part of me still reacted. But underneath, disgust burned hotter. You're not saying this because you love me, I said quietly. You're saying it because Sophie left you. His head jerked up. No, that's not true. I swear. It is true. My voice sharpened. If she were still here, you wouldn't be standing in my kitchen at midnight, begging me to listen. He shook his head violently. You don't understand. I never stopped caring about you. I was just stupid, selfish. Please, give me a chance to prove it. I laughed bitterly. Prove it? With what? Empty words you should have said years ago? I can change, he pleaded. I'll do anything. I'll show you I value you, that I. Stop. I cut him off, my voice trembling with both fury and exhaustion. You never valued me. You valued convenience. I was safe until someone shinier came along. And when she left you, suddenly I matter again? That's not love, Adrian. That's desperation. His eyes brimmed with tears, and he reached for my hand. Please, don't say that. Don't throw away what we had. I'm begging you. I stepped back, folding my arms tight across my chest. What we had is already gone. You killed it the moment you chose her over me. I was wrong, he cried. I know that now. I can spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I shook my head slowly. You don't get it. You're not sorry for what you did to me. You're sorry you lost. You're sorry you're alone. But you're not sorry because you love me. Silence filled the space, thick and suffocating. I could hear the tick of the wall clock, each second stretching. I do love you, he whispered, almost childlike. No, I said firmly. If you loved me, you wouldn't have treated me like an option. Love doesn't vanish the moment someone else smiles at you. Love doesn't crawl back only after the other woman walks away. His face crumpled, and he dropped onto the couch, head in his hands. I can't lose you forever. You already did, I murmured. He looked up, eyes wide, searching for even a flicker of mercy. So that's it? You're just done? I forced a small smile, though my insides twisted. Yes, Adrian. I'm done. He shook his head again, as if denial could rewrite reality. But we had so much history. You can't just erase that. I'm not erasing it, I replied, my voice calmer now. I'm learning from it. And the lesson is clear, you never saw me for who I was. You saw what I gave you. Comfort, stability, loyalty. But not me. He opened his mouth to protest, then closed it again. Tears slid down his cheeks, unashamed this time. I felt my heartbeat steady, my chest loosen. For the first time, his weakness didn't pull me down, it lifted me higher. I wasn't the broken one here. Adrian, I said softly, I don't hate you. But I don't need you either. That's the difference between then and now. He buried his face in his palms, his sobs muffled. I don't know how to live without you. You'll figure it out, I said. The same way I figured out how to live without you. The words felt final, like a door locking from the inside. He stood shakily, eyes red and hollow. If you ever change your mind. I won't, I interrupted. The air between us shifted, heavy with endings. He lingered by the door, waiting for something I would never give. Goodbye, Adrian, I whispered. He nodded slowly, defeated, and walked out into the night. The door clicked shut behind him. I leaned against it, exhaling. My heart still raced, but this time it wasn't fear, it was freedom. I smiled faintly, a smile he would never see, because inside, I was already gone. The restaurant buzzed with voices and clinking glasses. I stood near the center table, heart pounding, yet my hands were steady. Adrian's eyes found mine from across the room. Sophie sat beside him, her arms folded, her expression sharp enough to cut glass. He rose quickly, almost too eagerly. Can we talk? Just you and me? I shook my head. No. Whatever needs to be said, I'll say it here. His face tightened. Please, not in front of everyone. I'm done hiding, I said firmly. Whispers drifted through the crowd. Sophie leaned forward, smirking. Go on then. Tell us all how he begged you back. Adrian glared at her. Sophie, stop. No, I cut in. Let her listen. She deserves to hear it too. I drew in a breath, steady. Adrian, you want me to come back. You claim losing me was your biggest mistake. But the truth is, you never valued me. He flinched. That's not fair. It's the only fair thing I've said to you in years, I interrupted. You didn't come back because you realized you loved me. You came back because Sophie left you. Gasps rippled around us. Sophie's jaw clenched. So it's true. You crawled back to her when I walked away? Adrian's voice cracked. I made mistakes, yes, but Enough, I snapped. Do you know what it felt like to be treated as an option? To be discarded the moment someone new appeared? And then to be begged for when she left? The room was silent except for my words. My chest tightened, but I pushed forward. That isn't love. That's selfishness. And I won't be part of it anymore. Adrian reached out as if to grab hold of something slipping away. Please, don't do this. Not here. I met his gaze, unwavering. I am doing this here. Because for once, I refuse to protect your pride. I choose myself. The last line hung heavy in the air. Sophie shoved back her chair. You disgust me, she hissed at him. Then she stormed out, heels striking the floor like hammer blows. Adrian stood frozen, pale, his mouth opening and closing with no sound. His collapse was almost pitiful. Almost. I'm moving on, I said quietly but clearly enough for every ear in the room. You no longer have any claim on me. The silence cracked with murmurs, but none of it mattered. I felt the weight lift from my chest, as though chains had fallen away. Adrian whispered, so this is really it? Yes, I answered. It's over. He sank back into his chair, broken, while I turned away. My steps felt lighter than they had in years. Near the doorway, Ethan caught my eye. He hadn't spoken a word all evening, but the small, knowing smile he offered me carried warmth. No pressure, no demands, just quiet support. I returned the smile, not as a promise, but as acknowledgement. For now, I chose myself. And for the first time, that was enough. As I walked out into the night, the cool air wrapped around me like freedom. My story wasn't ending here, it was finally beginning. I sat on the balcony with a cup of tea, the city humming below. The night breeze carried laughter and car horns, but for once, the noise didn't press down on me. Daniel's voice came through my phone. So, it's really over? Yes, I said, steady. It's over. For good. You sound different, he noted. I am different, I admitted. I used to think closure would come from them apologizing, or begging, or realizing what they lost. But closure came when I realized I don't need any of that. He exhaled softly. Then you've won. I didn't win, I replied. I just let go. The word surprised even me. Later that week, I met Ethan at a cafe. He slid into the chair across from me, eyes curious. How are you holding up? I smiled faintly. Lighter. Like I've been carrying a weight I didn't even know was there, and now it's gone. You don't miss him? He asked. I sipped my coffee before answering. I miss who I thought he was. But not him. Not anymore. He nodded. That's fair. For a moment, silence settled between us, comfortable. Then I said, funny thing is, I don't even hate Sophie anymore. His eyebrows rose. Really? She tried to ruin me. She mocked me. But look at where it got her, alone, bitter, scrambling to hold on to something that was never real. She punished herself more than I ever could. So no revenge? Ethan teased lightly. No revenge, I said firmly. I don't need it. Watching them unravel was enough. Besides, revenge keeps you tied to the person who hurt you. I'd rather be free. Ethan leaned back, smiling. That's strength, you know. Maybe, I said. Or maybe it's just exhaustion. Either way, I'm done with the cycle. That night, I found myself staring at the mirror. My reflection looked back at me, tired but unbroken. I whispered, you survived. The face in the glass didn't argue. I remembered the parties, the whispers, the humiliation, the tears I'd hidden under my pillow. I remembered Adrian's pleading eyes, Sophie's sharp smirk. For so long, their voices lived inside my head like echoes I couldn't escape. Now, those echoes were fading. The next morning, Adrian called. I let it ring until voicemail. His voice cracked through the speaker. I just wanted to say I'm sorry again. I don't expect anything. I hope you're okay. I stared at the phone, then pressed delete. When Sophie's message arrived, long, bitter, blaming everyone but herself, I didn't reply. I didn't even finish reading it. Later, Daniel checked in again. So, no part of you wants to answer them? No, I said. Not anymore. They don't matter to me. Not really. What does matter then? He asked. I thought for a moment before answering. Me. My peace. My future. He chuckled. Sounds like you finally found yourself. I did, I said softly. That evening, Ethan walked me home. We didn't talk much, just shared quiet steps beneath the streetlights. At my door, he paused. You know, you don't owe anyone anything, not them, not me. You get to choose what happens next. I know, I said. And what do you choose? I smiled, the answer clear. I choose me. His eyes warmed, but he didn't press further. He just said, good. That's exactly how it should be. After he left, I lingered at the mirror again. My hand brushed against the cool glass. I don't need them anymore, I whispered. The reflection smiled back, faint but sure. For the first time, I believed it. Peace didn't arrive in a dramatic moment. It came slowly, like sunrise creeping over the horizon. And standing there, watching myself breathe without the weight of the past, I knew the story was finished. Not because they were gone, but because I was whole. And that was enough.